In today's video, we're going to walk through the complete installation process of Flutter. Whether you're a beginner or just need a refresher, this guide will cover everything you need, from downloading Flutter, setting up CocoaPods, installing Android Studio, and more. By the end of this video, you'll have Flutter up and running on your Mac, ready to build amazing apps for iOS and Android. If you have been waiting to launch your programming journey with Flutter, this is the video that will get you started. Before we dive into the installation process, let's talk about why we're using a Mac for this setup. Flutter is a powerful cross-platform framework, meaning you can build apps for multiple platforms like Android, iOS, Windows, macOS, and the web, all from a single code base. However, there's one important thing to keep in mind. If your goal is to build apps for macOS or iOS, you'll need a Mac. Apple's development tools, including Xcode, are only available on macOS. This means that even though Flutter can create apps for Android and other platforms from any machine, if you're planning to target the Apple ecosystem, using a Mac is a must. So in this video, we'll be setting up Flutter on a Mac to ensure that you're fully equipped to deploy your apps to iOS and macOS devices. It is time to get started with how to install Flutter. Let's dive right in. Let's start by heading over to the official Flutter website. It will ask you about the desired target platform. If you're not sure, just pick the recommended options. Here, we can download the latest stable version of Flutter for macOS. It is important to make sure you download the correct version of Flutter based on your Mac's processor type. You will get an error if you use the wrong version, so make sure you check your Mac's settings before you proceed. Once the download is complete, unzip the file and move the Flutter folder to your desired directory. For this video, I'll place it in the development folder. I'm using Terminal to move the folder, but you can use Finder if it is easier for you. Next, we need to set up the path so we can run Flutter commands from anywhere in the terminal. Open your terminal and edit your profile file, depending on your shell. Add this line to the file. Save and close the file. Then refresh the terminal by running this command. CocoaPods is an essential tool for managing dependencies in iOS projects. Flutter uses it to install plugins from Pub.dev. Let's install it by running this command in the terminal. Enter your password if prompted and wait for the installation to complete. This could take a few minutes, so be patient and wait for it to complete before continuing. To ensure CocoaPods is easily accessible, let's add it to the path as well. Open your terminal and edit your profile file, depending on your shell. Add this line to the file. Save and close the file. Then refresh the terminal by running this command. Now let's set up Xcode, which is necessary for iOS development. Open the App Store, search for Xcode, and hit install. The Xcode version shown here will not be the version that you see. It is important to download the latest version of Xcode when setting up your environment. Xcode is a fairly large program, so it will take several minutes to install completely. Once it's installed, we also need to set up the command line tools by running this command in the terminal. After all of this, make sure to open Xcode at least once to agree to the license. If you prefer, here's a convenient command that will walk you through any outstanding license agreements in Terminal. Follow the terminal instructions to complete this. Next up is Android Studio, which we need for Android development. Head over to the official Android Studio website, download the latest version, and follow the installation prompts. Flutter makes use of Apple's and Android's development systems to build your cross-platform app. This is why we needed to install both Xcode and Android Studio to be able to use both of those platforms. This will take a few minutes to copy to the Applications folder. Once copied, launch Android Studio and complete the installation process. Once installed, set up the Android SDK and create a virtual device for testing. You will have to agree to the licenses to be able to download it. We also need to install the Flutter plugin for Android Studio. This will allow us to create projects and develop our Flutter app completely. Many developers use Visual Studio Code for developing Flutter. This guide will not be covering that, but let us know in the comments if you are having problems setting up your Visual Studio Code development environment. You need to install the Android command line tools as well. There are several ways to get to the settings. We will use this drop-down and select Android SDK. Then we need to select the command line tools and click Apply. Another added benefit to setting up your system for Flutter is that you have also set up an Android and iOS development environment. Because Flutter requires these to be set up completely, you now have it. So if you dabble in the dark arts of native development, you can rest assured you are good to go. Who designed and created the Dart programming language? Put your answer in the comments. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video to see the correct answer. Now that everything is set up, let's run Flutter Doctor. This command checks your system for any missing dependencies or configurations. If you run this command before everything is set up, it will help you identify problems with your Flutter installation. Houston, we have a problem. It looks like we need to agree to the Android licenses as well. At least they have given us the command we should run to complete this process. If you learned anything today, you have definitely learned how to agree to terms and conditions. Seriously though, make sure you take some time and understand the legal implications for anything you use to create your product. Now that everything is actually set up, let's go back to the doc to see what's up. As you can see, everything checks out. If you have completed all the steps and your Flutter Doctor is still telling you there are issues, feel free to leave a comment below, and we will see if we can point you in the right direction. Flutter makes use of Apple's and Android's development systems to build your cross-platform app. This is why we needed to install both Xcode and Android Studio to be able to use both of those platforms. Running this command will show you what channel you are on. Flutter offers different channels like Stable, Beta, Main, and Master. Each channel offers a different level of stability. Let's switch from the Stable channel to the Main channel using this command. Sometimes this is helpful if the library is not working as expected. This will take a few minutes to complete, as the source code for the new channel is being downloaded to your machine. It might be helpful to think of Flutter channels as Git branches. Each time you change channels, you are changing Flutter itself. So make sure you keep that top of mind if you start encountering errors after switching channels. When it is complete, let's run Flutter upgrade to apply the latest updates. If you run the Flutter channel command, it will show you your current channel. If you include the name of a valid channel, it will switch your Flutter channel. It is important to use the stable channel for your application if you plan on deploying it to production. This channel will ensure you are not using experimental or untested features. Let's create a new Flutter project in Android Studio. Click on Start a new Flutter project, choose your settings, and let Android Studio set up everything for you. You can change the programming language defaults for iOS and Android. If you have working knowledge of Java or Objective-C, feel free to change your project's settings. Otherwise, just choose the default settings, as Kotlin and Swift are the preferred languages at the time of creating this video. You can select which platforms you want to support. I personally recommend choosing all of them, but feel free to uncheck any of these you don't want to support. The project name format has restrictions. It should be in lowercase and include underscores if you need separation. You will have to wait a few moments while your new Flutter project is created. After the project is created, you will notice that a folder has been created for each of the selected platforms. These folders contain the platform-specific projects. You will need to open these projects every now and then to configure platform-specific settings. This is the sample project created by the Flutter team. It is very basic, but is a great place for you to start your Flutter development journey. Let's take a quick look at the main.dart file. This is your main entry point in this application because it contains the main function. All of the code for this app is in this one file, but projects will typically contain many Dart files. Let's take a look at the pubspec.yaml file in a sample Flutter project. This file is where you define your project's dependencies. For example, if you need a specific package, you'd list it here. To fetch the dependencies listed in pubspec.yaml, simply run flutter pub.get in your terminal. If you want to add a new package, you can use flutter pub add command. It'll be automatically included in your pubspec.yaml. On the contrary, you can use the flutter pub remove command to remove a library. No matter what command you run, make sure you run flutter pub get to ensure your dependencies are loaded and up to date. For more info on Flutter commands, check out the Flutter documentation. Now let's head over to the website Pub.dev, which is the official package repository for Dart and Flutter. Here, you can find and explore a wide variety of plugins and packages. Once you find what you need, you can easily add it to your project using the pub add command we covered earlier. If you are familiar with other package managers, like npm, then you will recognize this pattern. You can really jumpstart your application by taking advantage of these libraries. Flutter's community is vibrant and is continually adding extremely helpful libraries here to build your app. Take the time to understand the license of the libraries you're using. Not all libraries can be used commercially, and some will require attribution. Verify this info before you start using a package. The pubspec.yaml file is the main configuration file for your Flutter project. I would recommend taking the time to understand it. It contains the minimum and maximum Flutter SDK settings, dependencies, asset references, fonts, and even more. If you would like to see a breakdown of the various elements in the pubspec.yaml file, tell us in the comments below. The answer is C. Dart was designed by Lars Bak and Kasper Lund and developed by Google. It was unveiled at the Go2 conference in Denmark in October of 2011. Did you get it right? Let us know in the comments what you think. Finally, let's run our project on an iOS simulator. Open the iOS simulator from this menu and hit the Run button in Android Studio. Let's make some room for the simulator. I like to keep the device on screen at the same time as my code editor. This allows you to get instant feedback on your changes because Flutter supports hot reload. When you hit the play button, it will compile your project and push a build to the connected device, simulator, or emulator. This could take longer the first time you do it. Your Flutter app should now be running on the simulator. And that's it. You have successfully installed and set up Flutter from scratch. I hope you found this guide helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to help. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and you are making a mobile app, we have 5 things that can help improve it. Watch it here. Learn it with the XR Life. Join us today. Find out more at thexrlife.com.